Hi everyone, today I'm going to be making this beautiful rose banner for a baby shower. To make the banner, I used this template and I will provide the same template in the description box below just in case you want to make it yourself. So when transferring the template to Silhouette Studio, I'm going to trace it to make it a cut file. To trace the template, I simply clicked on my trace panel and clicked on select trace area and traced over the flower template and clicked on trace, and I just did that for all of the pieces. And here I'm just messing around with the trace panel settings, but this is not necessary. I was just kind of messing with it, and then all I have to do is trace over it and then just select trace, and then I'm done. So what's left after I trace is like these little red outlines, and this is what we want, and this is what the silhouette is actually going to cut. And here I'm just showing you the sizes of the banner, which is like 4 inches by 5. And then I'm just going to be showing you the sizes of the template of the rose so you get an idea. This one's going to be the center rose, which would be a little bit bigger than the other two on the sides. And here I'm just showing you how I placed them on my paper. For the big rose I used a 12 by 12 piece of paper and 4 of them fit on here, but if you have an 8.5 by 11, I think 2 of these big roses fit on there. And for the smaller roses that go on the side, I was able to fit 3 of them on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And I was also able to fit 2 of the banner templates on one page. And I almost forgot to show you guys the leaves that are going to be going underneath the roses. These will be included in the template as well, and I just did the same thing. I just traced over them the way I did with the other templates. So I used a 12 by 12 green sheet of paper to cut the leaves, and I was able to fill up the page with a bunch of them and cut cut a lot of leaves, so that was pretty cool. You're also able to cut a lot of leaves even though you're using an 8.5 by 11, just because the leaves are just so small. So after I traced all my templates, I needed to create the letters that were going inside my banner, so I wrote out a sweet baby girl. And for the letters, I used a font called Mudisa Script. I think I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah, I just used that font. And here I'm just resizing the letters to fit nicely inside my banner. Since the letters will be separated in the banner and not together like cursive, I didn't like how the R looked by itself, so I changed it a bit to make it look nicer. I wanted the R to look a certain way, so I used the letter I to make it look attached to this piece. It's a little confusing to explain, but you'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. Obviously this is optional and you can avoid this mess by just choosing a font that has all the letters that you really like. So I wanted my letters to look a little bit more bold, so I selected over them and I used the offset panel to do this. And I was messing with the numbers on the side just to get it how I wanted it. So once I got the thickness that I wanted, I just removed the letters that were skinnier and then I just kind of put them in a pile and then I deleted them. Then I just arranged them in this 8.5 by 11 paper so I can get them ready to cut. First I cut my banner templates and I'm just showing you quickly how they came out on my silhouette. And this is how the roses came out, and I just made sure to use a sticky mat when I cut out these roses. And I used an 8.5 by 11 sheet to cut out the smaller roses because I was able to fit 3 of them in there. And for the letters, I used this rose gold metallic paper that I got from Michael's. And this is how the letters came out. And last but not least, I was able to cut out a ton of the leaves on this green sheet of paper. And to roll up the flowers, I simply used these pair of like tweezers, and I'm sure you could use any little tool. You don't necessarily need a quilling tool in my opinion, but I just simply did it with this little thing I had laying around, and I just rolled up the flower all the way, and then I just kind of hot glued the base and I was done with it. So it's pretty easy to do, and it's actually kind of fun. So after I was done rolling it all up, I kind of let the flower go a little bit and I let it breathe just so it's not all bunched up, and it actually looks really nice. And I pretty much did the same thing with the smaller roses. And when you're rolling the roses, make sure to pinch really tightly with the tweezers or with whatever you're using. And in my opinion, I think you can even roll them up with your hand. But it's just, I guess the tweezers make it a little bit easier to do it with. The flowers are super easy to make. It just takes a little bit of practice, but they came out really nice. And it took me some time, but I really enjoyed making all of them. So after I was done with cutting them on the silhouette, I just put them into piles, and then I rolled all of the flowers and I put everything into piles so that way I can just create like a little assembly line and make the banner. So I'm just gonna show you how I assembled one of them just so you can get an idea, but it's pretty simple. So before gluing them, I just kind of laid everything out to make sure I liked the way it looked. So I glued pretty much everything using this tacky glue except for the roses. For the roses, I just used a dab of hot glue to get them on there. I had actually put a little bit of tacky glue on the roses, but then I decided to glue them with hot glue since it was a little more secure. I completely forgot to show you guys, but I hole punched all the banners before I started gluing down everything. Alright everyone, so that's how my banner turned out. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and follow me on Instagram to see more work like this at Creative Goods.